Okay. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Miyoko from Japan. Welcome back to my channel. I am live from Fukuoka Prefecture, Japan. How are you guys doing? My face is so gigantic. Maybe I should come like here. Yeah. Better. Today is somehow my phone. I'm always using my phone as the camera, but somehow it's not loading. So I'm using this laptop camera. Okay. Anyway, hello. Are you watching Formula One? No. It doesn't come to my attention much at all. Are they commenting in Japan about Elon Musk's statement regarding the unconstitutional and illegal decision of Supreme Court member in Brazil, Twitter files in Brazil, dictatorship in Brazil? No, I don't think so. I don't hear that. イーロン・マスクの発言とかないよね。話題になってないよね。何も聞かないよね。We don't hear about it. Twitter ファイル、ブラジル。Hey everyone, hello. Thank you so much for coming. How are you? Yoko, the cherry blossom video you posted was very pretty. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so happy that you liked it. Yeah. It turned out, I was just gonna post it, but then while editing, I'm like, oh, maybe I should match that to the music, and that's what I did. Yeah. Hey there. Thank you for coming. Hello. Hola. Hola. How are you? So, not much going on in Japan. Oh, I am so sorry to hear about the earthquake in Taiwan, though. In Japan, by the way, it's been reported like every day, and actually, 2 Japanese women were rescued by the locals. It does say here. This is the newspaper from yesterday, and the front page. You see, this is Taiwan. Taiwan 72 hours. They're searching the area passionately. And over here, 2 Japanese rescued. And there is a picture of the earthquake area and so on. So it's on the front page. And it's been on TV like every day too. Yeah. And then I heard about the earthquake in New York. Like, wow, I didn't know that they have plates there. How is that? I don't know the system there. Because in Japan we have volcanoes and we have lots of plates that shake the ground, and we are aware of it. So like we know, where we have earthquakes. And so like for example, where I live, I know of where the what you call that in English? Wait. Fault? I guess fault. Fault. Yeah, we have that. So, and then at least my city has, or I guess I guess it's a Japanese thing. We have not only the like faults map, the plates and so on, how there's the line and so on. We see that too, but at the same time, we like city halls and so on. They make the. Why is this fan making a noise? We also have a map of like what area of the ground is weak. Like it shakes more, and other areas are hard, so it's safer and so on. So we have that information as well. But New York, I guess it's interesting that it was shallow. It said, like I watched Fox News, and they said that it was shallow, yet like it shook a lot. So that was interesting. And the Earth is very much alive. So I realized, like, in anywhere you go, like you should have your buildings strongly structured. So that just came to my mind. And it was interesting that I think it's the real account. I haven't checked it, but I think someone was sharing the Marjorie Taylor Greene's tweet. I guess it's the real one, but she was talking about how like God is speaking to us or something like that. And it was interesting. It was not only that post that I saw from America that some people were talking about how lightning struck the what you call the 自由の女神って英語でなんだ自由の女神 so right, Statue of Liberty. Yeah, it struck right, and then the earthquake. So people were reacting online, saying that that God is speaking to you and so on. Never heard of quake in New York area before, right? Like it's probably the last time it happened was over 100 years ago. Fault lines. Oh, thank you for teaching me English. Like all this, like practical English is something that I'm lacking, because I've never lived in America. Thank you. Ohio, Ohio. You look so elegant as always. Thank you. I look better in like through my phone camera though. Like I don't like this camera. The epicenter was in New Jersey. No major damage. That's good. Because there are lots of high, like tall buildings in America. So, fault lines lead to earthquakes. The New York City quake was pretty small, but they freaked out like Southern California when it raised. That's a good example. Yeah. It doesn't rain in Southern California? Man, that's cool. On the other hand, in the UK, it rains like every day, right? Like it's very cloudy and so dark. That's the impression that I have. New York earthquakes, it makes Japan laugh. Yeah. Like, no, I can never laugh about earthquakes because it depends on how strong the buildings are and how people evacuate and so on. Like some people just some people are not smart when they try to protect their own lives. So yeah, but I guess that Japanese people are like, oh, okay. Like that's the level. Yeah, because in Taiwan the earthquake was really really strong, but I don't know. But in Japan, we had this massive earthquake in Ishikawa Prefecture on the very first day of this year, and then now Taiwan, and then New York, and it just stands out. And as a Japanese citizen, what I feel is that we are only human. And whenever there is a natural disaster, even though I am frightened by that, at the same time, some part of me as a Japanese woman, I feel that the like a magnificent, what you call, like a divine aspect of the nature, that we are only humans, and when we are not living in a good way, we can't co-live with the nature and they will destroy us. They're more closer to God, I feel. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's why Japanese people just pray and pray and pray for the nature. Like whenever, like every time we build a building, for example, here we have a Shinto ceremony. And then all the shrine people do this to get rid of all that dark force or whatever. And then we do certain ceremonial things to make sure that we are celebrated and blessed by the divine power, and then build buildings. And I think it's just natural, because natural disasters, we live with the nature, and therefore we always have natural disasters. And it's not something that it began recently. It's been like this since the beginning of this country. So yeah. There was a small earthquake in Virginia many years ago when I was a wee lad. Oh, I don't know what wee lad means, but yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. There's the earthquakes there, like around that area. I've been to Virginia, by the way. My husband has been there too. Maybe this light is massive. Okay. Yoko, there was an earthquake in New York City in 2010 too. Okay, but it lasted 2 seconds only. Interesting. How y'all? How are you? Hello, how many deaths with the quake? You mean Taiwan? In Taiwan, over 10 people. This is old though. This is today's newspaper wrote the number. Oh, 13 people dead. And 1,147 casualties, 6 missing. Yeah, there's the following news here too today. So today's newspaper, if you're wondering, the front page is talking about the infection research center. Yeah, okay. Infection stuff research center. Attempting to or like they're getting prepared to share information in Asia. Lesson learned from COVID-19. India, Vietnam, and so on. So Japan seems to be behind the movement of sharing information when it comes to infection. What you call 感染症 just infection infection diseases. So we are now building the system with other countries. So that's a good move, I think. It's they're gonna, yeah. I think the ASEAN countries have a network. Where was it? I feel like, oh yeah. In Asia, yeah, like we get lots of infection diseases nowadays, and Japan is not really ready. So like our government now, I guess it's not government, it's National Research Center for Infection. They're gonna build the network to share information with India, Vietnam, Taiwan, and so on. Great move. You know, it seems like we're all, like me personally, I'm always interested in national security, like, you know, military wise, and I don't know, just alliance in general and so on. But things like this are the important part, I guess, in real life, because the COVID-19 really affected our country, you know, like without COVID-19, I don't think that Trump would have been the way that he is pushed today, you know, because Americans didn't get it. The economy during Trump administration for America was really good. You know, he was fixing the country. But then COVID-19 happened, and then people didn't see what was going on and blamed Trump for everything because he's a big daddy. Sucks for him, seriously. Yep. Okay. Anyway, oh, there's information about the Indonesian presidential election as well. I should mention that. If you never experienced it before, I can kind of understand freaking. Yeah. When I visited, I have visited Taiwan before. I think that was in 2014. And when I was sleeping at night, you know, in bed at the hotel, it shook like crazy. And I was like, what? But I didn't think that I was gonna die because I'm so used to it. But the level was 8, I remember. Shindo. How do you read that? Seismic intensity. Seismic Seismic intensity? Wait, let me hear that again. Seismic intensity. This is how I learn English. Seismic intensity was 8, which was really big. So, yeah, I was a bit scared. Yeah. It's been a wet El Nino year this year, but normally it rains about once a month. They close schools, tell people to work from home. What? In Southern California, you mean? Or whoa, whoa, whoa. But for 4.5, 4.5 in Southern California, and people wouldn't even get out of bed, just tweet about it. Huh. We lad, small boy. Oh, okay. Irish language holdover. I see. Oh, hello. Phew, I almost missed this. Thank you so much for coming. Sorry, I'm holding this way later than I'm supposed to. So I was working now and so on. Recently, I'm realizing that I need to eat more because I'm older now, and somehow like I think I eat kind of a lot for a female, but then I don't eat often. Basically have one meal, one big meal at night. When I wake up around noon, I eat something too, but it's really small, and I don't care about nutrition. But then I realize like, oh, I need to take care of my body because I don't have energy anymore. I'm not young. So I'm like, I had to feed myself and then move my body enough. And it was so hard to get up this morning too because I'm awake, but my blood pressure is weak too. Like when I measure that. And it's so hard to get up. But yeah, so I'm working on that. Yes, let's see, let's see. It's so good to see that you guys talking to each other. Yeah, it's a good community. Brazil kind of the same. Oh, okay. Do you know about Shunsuke Yamashita? Yamashita Shunsuke. I stumbled upon his Twitter and he's kind of interesting. 誰だ? I don't know. 誰? Yamashita Shunsuke. 誰? Who? 起きる会代表? Is he a professor or something? Oh, he follows me. Okay, conservative, I assume. No, I don't know him, unfortunately. Indonesia is a weird country. Muslim country. Yoko thought that hotel was shaking, but it was really just a messaging vibration. No, it shook. It was on the news the following day. I'll be visiting Japan for the first time in May. Oh, nice. Any tips for the first time visitors? Uh, in May, if it's the first week, then you're gonna have a problem because it will be crowded everywhere because we have so-called golden week. But aside from that, you probably have a beautiful time here. Any tips? Just bow. I don't know. I think if you go to sightseeing places, I think that you just have a good time. And we don't have like, I guess, yeah, like we don't have tip culture or anything. So you just pay and that's it. And stay quiet, you know. at sightseeing places and where everyone is kind of impressed of the scenery and exclaiming that's cool, but on the train and transportation uh places you're expected to be quiet. So always pay attention to the public and what other people are doing, and you don't want to do different things. If that makes sense. I don't know. uh just I don't know. I don't know. I'm a native here, so yeah, that's about it, I guess. I wish I could think of other things. Um, yeah, and then when you have problems, there's always some police station, like a small one in every area. And also, there is what we call convenience store, like 7-Eleven and Family Mart and so on. So if you go to that sort of places, then you get everything you need. So yeah, hope you have a good trip to here. Good morning from New Orleans. Yeah, good morning. You woke up, or I don't know. The FBI Homeland Security have just issued warnings about threats from ISIS and lone wolves. Oh yeah, in the US, targeting mass gatherings, concert stadium, and churches. That is scary. I guess that the fact that they have to warn the citizens mean that they have some kind of information, maybe. Hmm. It's so scary because I bet that, especially because you have an open border, all these immigrants, illegal immigrants are flooding in, and who knows how many of them are terrorists. And I bet that there are sympathizers inside your country as well. That is so. Yeah, be careful, guys. Oh, super chat! Thank you so much. Oh, didn't you give me a super chat on my gaming channel as well? I can't wait to come to Japan and practice my jujutsu and be part of Japanese society. Awesome! Yeah, we love foreigners that do uh jujutsu and all this budo, what we call budo stuff. Like appreciating our culture because we feel respected by that. And that's why, actually, which reminds me, Putin, for example, he would do, I guess he was doing judo, and he would do that and film that and give the footage to the media, or maybe have them, just film that themselves. But he would do that to impress us, and it works. That's the scary part. But yeah, that is awesome. When are you coming? Japan, yeah, if I was from some other country, I bet that I would enjoy this country. Yeah. It's just clean, like cleanness, hygiene is such an important part, if you're from developed countries, right? Yeah, we are so hygienic and everything is just nicely structured, and you don't need a car if you visit urban cities like Tokyo or Kyoto or Osaka. Even Fukuoka, my prefecture, you don't really need a car to get around. We have great trains, taxi, buses, and everything. So yeah, even if you visit, for example, Nara, which has very like rich culture and history. Nara is kind of countryside, but still, like I remember my dad took me there when my online boyfriend from America visited here. My dad took us to Osaka, Kyoto, and Nara. And when we went to Nara, I remember taking a taxi to, like, it was a long drive, but still it worked out. So yep, 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 yep. Anyway, we need you here. Thank you so much. Yeah. It's interesting how we age, you know. Yeah. Yeah, like what realizing is that I need more energy. You know, I'm sometimes very lazy, and I just noticed finally, like after decades, that when I'm lazy, I am physically lacking in energy, or I am feeling some kind of pain or something. It's a physical things for me when I'm down or slow or lazy. So I realized like, oh, if I'm energetic, then I can do everything. you know. What do you think about Tadao Takemoto? He's widely loved by very what I can't read. Takeo Tadao Takemoto? 誰? Wait, let me see that. Novelist? I don't know him. Sorry. It's interesting that maybe my husband would know, but he just went out, I guess, to get some food, maybe. I don't like the way I look in this camera today. It's important, you know. I need to appear in the way that I like. Yoko, is it true that Japan kills a lot of seals and whales? It's not a lot. It's not a lot. It's all controlled, you know. And sometimes, I guess, for whales especially, we need to do that to protect the food chain. It seems I'm not an expert of that, but there are like pirates. You know what it's called? Some leftist group. I think FBI labeled them as a environmental terrorist, but that sort of groups would. I don't hear about them now, but they used to come here and film our traditional cultural things, like hunting whales and so on, and they will complain, and they would basically uh do all this like bashing and so on against Japan, and that we are, conservatives were dealing with that. It was a really bad thing, but I think that to counter that, somebody made a movie, like somebody from here, like Japanese woman, I think, made a film about it. And we're having counteractions. I myself, like, we just have that tradition, like Westerners were killing whales too, like at least for Japanese people, like we use everything, after we kill, for example, whales, we eat them all or use whatever is useful, and do everything that we can to appreciate their lives, right? And Westerners, like, and not to bash you, but it was different because our cultures were different. And because Westerners, not only Westerners, but I guess we were using it for energy, like oil. Is it oil? I don't know. But yeah, but Westerners stopped that, and we kept doing that. So I guess that's why we are bashed. And I personally think that even though it's a culture and I want that to remain in some way, fundamentally, I think that I want them to stop it too. But I want them to stop the culture, not because of the external pressure, but from by ourselves, because we shouldn't make examples like that. Like when we are pressured, we quit. We shouldn't do things like that, right? So yeah, not necessarily. So like, I guess that all these environmental terrorists and also vegans and so on, they bash what we do, but it's not atrocious as it seems. Like, we're humans are atrocious if that's their claim, if we accept their claims. Thank you for your super chat. In Japan, everything is better than Bocheland. I don't understand that awesome JP people feel about Bocheland. What is that? Sorry, I am not so. Boshulando. Where is that? Numachi? Numachi? I'm confused. Borancha. I'm confused. What does that mean? Oh, I had missed this. Also, I am going for my N1 as well. N1 meaning that is it a test? What is N1? Guys, you're using all these difficult things. Oh, N1, I guess, is a JLPT, the test, right? Cool. Cool. Thank you for your super chat. Naomi Biden put on a video with her claiming that her grandfather Joe Biden died years ago, and the current one is twin because her family wants to stay in power. I'll send you the video on Twitter. What? I did see that some on Twitter. I did see that somebody made a video of like Joe Biden this year, and then this year, and so like what it was chronological, and the person posted it was claiming like when did he get switched by Biden today, and I watched it and I just saw Biden. But I guess that to American people's eyes, like I'm a Japanese person, so I don't really catch the characteristics of your face of like white people, for example. Like I can only see small differences of my own people because I'm used to seeing them. But man, I don't know. I have no idea though. You guys have to come to your conclusion and then tell me because I have no idea and no way to tell if things are true on what we hear online or from I don't know, maybe it's an official statement. I don't know, but hi Yoko, hello. I can't stay, but I do have a quick question, okay? Are the majority of Japanese politicians still against mass immigration into Japan? The majority of conservative politicians are against, like, we conservatives are generally, like, whether they are politicians or not, we are against mass immigration. We want to protect Japan as it is, and we also, I guess, ordinary people, non-political people too, that even though we like foreigners in general and we want to interact internationally, or we want to invite people for sightseeing from outside and so on, we have that sense, but at the same time, uh, we we are alert on how foreigners behave in Japan. We are happy about low crime rates and also the bond in the community, like local community and so on, and our culture in general. We are proud of that. We like that, right? And for example, like when what happens in sightseeing places, for example, is the trash problem. Foreigners leave trash just outside. Like even Japanese people do that nowadays, which is a problem. But then, like after Halloween in Shibuya, for example, even though the local authorities tell people not to come to Shibuya on Halloween days, people show up in costumes and drink and eat and blah blah blah, and they leave all this trash. It's a mixture of Japanese people and foreigners, by the way. But lots of trash. But Japanese, some other genre, like totally different group of Japanese people show up the next morning and clean that up. So like we are I don't know what it is, but we're really hygienic and we just care so much about removing trash from the public and so on. But however, like foreigners, for example, they often they just leave the stuff right outside, and it's a problem now. It's even reported on media, and we see that often. So even that's an interest, like a what you call, like a fast way to understand the cultural difference, and so we Japanese people see that sort of problems that occur with foreign people. Oh, some Muslims too. They want to bury the bodies if their families die, and Japanese people, of course, like back in the day, we were burying the body underground, but today we have what's the word? Mm, I know that word, but I just forgot right now. Cremation. Yeah, we do cremation now, but Muslims here were saying like, "Oh, we want to bury that," and then we are like, "Why?" Right? So like we have problems like that, and because of that, we realize like, "Oh, it's so hard to live with immigrants," right? Like even though we love, we are tolerant in many ways, but like when it comes to like them living here, they have to, uh, you know, like understand and respect the rules that we have, including unspoken ones that we just follow unspokenly, if that's the word. Uh, and so, like generally speaking, too, like we have this, even though we like international interactions and so on, like communications, but there's this part like, like we don't want to lose what we have. So, and liberal politicians, though, I think they, uh, especially for mass immigration, often becomes a topic when we are talking about economy. The economy is bad here. And Kishida is doing a very good job, I think. Now like our salary, like our payment is uh, getting boosted, and we are like the government is trying to put us in a good cycle economically, so that's a good thing. But still, like whenever there's an economical problem, there are people that say that we have to use foreign power like immigration as to support our economy, if that makes sense. So yeah, but still I think that even if that becomes realistic, even if it would become some kind of policy, then conservatives will bash that and stop that from happening. I think still like we never change. Thank you so much for Sabaja. Sorry, it was a long answer, but anyway, let's see. Just go and down. It should be that for all immigrants. The thing about Japan is what's interesting is that there are really great foreigners that naturalize to Japanese. Like some foreigners here, like I bet that they are the minority among the foreigners here, but still, there are some figures, that are so like super Japanesey, and they have all this knowledge about Japan. Like they truly respect Japan more than I do. So like we're so impressed and we are happy about them. And even though their face or their body, their bodies from somewhere else, but we see the soul in them. Oh man. So like we have all this respect for them. So, and also there are other cases, for example, all these refugees from that are escaping from, for example, North Korea or China. East Asia problem is really critical, and I've seen North Koreans that have escaped from North Korea that have a business here. I have also, of course, I've worked with all these people from Tibet, Uyghur, Southern Mongolia, and Hong Kong too. Nowadays, they escape from oppression by CCP and they live here, and I have no problem with them. Because they speak Japanese. Often their Japanese is broken, but we don't care much, and we know that I don't know what it is. Like, we bond very well. Like, we just look at each other and we don't care about nationality much. We know that they're fighting for their own country and they want to eventually go back, and I bet that they're struggling here too, like, because we don't speak their language and so on. But we work together for the same reason, to defeat the regime. So we are in this together. And so when it comes to immigrants like that, I, as a conservative and a human rights activist, I I'm open to that, because, and also, like, and there's a refugee problem as well. Of course, refugee system is something that I'm happy about our government, fixing that problem, because there are some foreigners that, what's the word, abuse the system. Even though they're not refugees, they try to register themselves as refugees. So our government say now that they can only apply for, I think, for 3 times. Like, there were some loophole for that, but now they limit the amount that they can apply for that to prevent such cases. So that's good. And but yeah, refugees too. Like, if we, for example, we accept Tibetans, for example, that are oppressed by CCP, and if we acknowledge them as refugees, then we could use that politically, right? It becomes a weapon. So it's risky, though. It's pretty risky because it can be always abused. But yeah, I'm thinking about stuff like that. If they want to fight for their country, send them back to fight for their country. The thing is, for example, I was a good friend of this Hong Kong girl. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't want CCP to recognize us as collaborating, because they could make excuses to bash us. But there was this guy that was advocating Hong Kong independence before, and he made a party, the independence party in Hong Kong for the first time in Hong Kong history. There was this guy, and when he was trying to come to Japan to attend CPAC in Japan, actually, he got arrested because CCP, of course, like, they didn't want him here, to meet with our American, our politicians, and also American conservatives were flying here. So, like, I guess that they didn't want him to meet them or whatever. And so he got arrested. He was detained in Hong Kong. So, things like that happen. And then he was arrested a couple times. And then this system in Hong Kong, it was one country, two systems, but today it became like just China, right? Hong Kong became China, unfortunately. And before that happens, I was hoping that he would come out, to some other country and continue with his work, for example, Uyghurs, they have a world congress in, like, Uyghurs have this world congress. I think it's called World Congress. I'm not sure, but all these famous Uyghur people, activists, they work outside of the Uyghur, like East Turkestan. They don't live there; they live outside, and so that they have freedom of speech to, let us know all these issues, revolving their own people. So now we know more and more about them, and they are being the bridge, right? But my Hong Kong girlfriend, for example, the party leader, he just wanted to be in Hong Kong because he's the leader, right? And you know, me and my husband and other people, we hoped, like we didn't talk about it, we are just a friend and we just go with the flow. But like we were watching, like, what if, like, it would be great if he, just go outside, but he didn't because he has that mentality to stay there. But if you stay there, you can't do anything, you can do something only when things go, like, lose control, right? Like when what happens in China, for example, mainland China, for example, there are riots sometimes. And when riots happen in China, it happens in other places and other places. And that's the chance for Chinese people, for example, when they want, if they want democracy. But and then it could, come to Hong Kong as well. But unless that happens, if you are in Hong Kong, you can't do anything. So you might think that, oh, there are refugees and they're escaping. Of course, at first, I want them to fight. That's something that I think to myself often too. Like, why? Like, all this, especially when I look at all this immigrants, illegal immigrants flooding into America from the southern border. I'm like, why are you going to another country even without the legal procedure? Doesn't make sense to me. Like, don't you have your own country? Like, why don't you just fix your country, right? Like, not only selfishly thinking about your own self, just, serve your country, right? That's, of course, comes to my mind always. But when it comes to those who are oppressed, uh, I guess I think differently. Mm-mm-mm. Have you heard of JP Sears? No. Awaken with Japanese? No. He's hilarious? Oh. The only YouTube videos that I watch are actually self-development. So, baseball? No, comedian and freedom fighter. Oh, this one. Huh. Oh, interesting. he he says, I'm a comedian and freedom fighter. Yeah, even his face looks interesting. He looks like a funny person. Okay, I will subscribe. Done. And watch later. Thank you. The first impression is important. Like, you just know, right? When you look at somebody, like, oh, he's my guy, or nah. Like, mm, that's how it starts with the good ones. The thing is that it's been like this for decades for Japan, at least. Like, as for, like, there are Chinese immigrants here too, and they want democracy. They just can't live in China because they don't have freedom there. And there are, like, at least the Chinese people that I know of, they're working to for democracy. They do political activities, and they have this movement, even in America. This guy that's close to that is close to Bannon, Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon is close to this super rich Chinese guy that wants democracy for China. And so, like, you can't really, I'm the kind of person who doesn't generalize. It really depends on each case. And sometimes when you speak about something, of course, you have to somewhat generalize, but you have to objectively look at things because it's case by case, the majority of times. Like, all this, like, generalizing and extreme views are lazy thinking, which I don't like. Mm. Unwritten laws. Oh, that's a good expression. Unwritten laws. Unspoken rules. Unwritten laws. I guess unwritten laws are the true ones. Yeah. Cool. I'm learning. I saw a post on Twitter that they keep adding categories for foreign workers. Post on Twitter. Okay. And that they keep adding categories for foreign workers, and it's expected that 800,000 new foreign workers in the next 5 years. Kind of grim. Hopefully they can't stay long. Yeah. As for Japan, it's hard to live in Japan. And I guess that our government is passionate actually about foreign worker, like skilled workers. Like what we think about is that our government, at least, they are envisioning the flow that foreign people come work here and get knowledge, and then they take that back to their own country and make it prosper. But at the same time, they are adding the system for them to get a job here. And I think they added that system recently. But there was a case though that was interesting, that during the process, the foreign, I think I have mentioned this before, but there was this woman from some other Asian country came as a foreign worker, skilled worker to, get skills, right? And then she gets pregnant. And then we're like, just go back, right? But she's demanding some kind of things. I don't know, like her rights or whatever. And we're like, things like that happen. So every time things like that happen, I think that we get fed up with foreign workers. So it's good and bad. But as for foreign workers, yeah, what else to say? Yeah, we want them, but the thing about foreign workers today is the foreign workers actually don't want to come here because the economy here is bad compared to other countries. Like they work for the same amount and they get paid better in America or Australia or elsewhere. And why would they want to come here? Right? So I guess in order to get a certain amount, the government has to give the incentive or something. I don't know what they're thinking. The problem of bureaucracy and politicians is that they don't know the actual atmosphere, or like what the public opinion of the like ordinary Japanese people. They're such elites that they have no idea about ordinary Japanese people. Oh, I had missed this somehow. I only asked because I saw a video today saying that Japan was starting to embrace mass immigration to solve the labor shortages in the country. I see. Yeah, Japanese people, thank you for your super chat. Yeah, we need to. There's a certain level that we can tolerate, but we have to stop, I guess. When it comes to mass immigration, of course, like as a conservative and fellow conservatives, I bet that we will try to stop. Let's see. It's been 53 minutes. Some conversation going on. Yoko, how is your piano doing these days? I think it is gathering far too much dust and it's kind of ready to play. I know. Thank you for your comments. I miss playing, but the only keyboard that I have today has limited keys, and I can't really play. I it's like a MIDI controller, and you can't really play on that. So I really want a new keyboard, but I can't afford it. I don't mind if it's like used ones, but I would like a good, like a new keyboard that I could easily play, I guess. Like I don't need a synthesizer. Just a normal keyboard would be fine, but I get all my news from like YouTube. What? You can't trust the mainstream media here in subject to over 950 YouTube channels. Wow, crazy. How much of that? How many of that can you watch though? The only channels that I watch is pretty much Ed Milet. I think I really love that dude. Ed Milet, such a good guy. Wait, let me see. I have a phone here today because I'm not using it. Oh, and the Japanese, some psychological expert. Yeah, pretty much it. Oh, and what's that guy's name? I only watch self development stuff, and then I will read I read newspaper and I watch the TV news too because I don't care about their narrative. I listen to the facts, the numbers and places and who said what, and that's only what I care about. And then I make the narrative by my own. So, yeah. Miles? Miles school. Let's see. 各分岐. Oh yes, Miles School. Yes, exactly. It's all these Asian names are so hard to remember. I of course I know in Japanese, but I don't know in English. And the only Chinese name that I remember in English is Liu Xiaopo. And other than that, like of course I remember my friends' names, but like for example, Taiwanese figure, what's important is wait, I don't even remember the Japanese name. What? Ritoki. That is would be Li Tenghui. Li Tenghui? Yeah, from like Taiwanese president back in the day, pro-Japanese. I mean pro-Japan. So that was good. Oh, speaking of which, I have to tell you about. Oh, I almost spilled the water. Where was that? Was it today's newspaper? Where was it? Oh yeah, here. Today's newspaper was introducing this important move. Japan, over here. Japan, America, Australia, Philippines. Today, they're doing a military exercise in the oceans. So that's good. Japan, America, Australia, Philippines together. And we are working together because of the South China Sea problem that China is trying to take that, right? So we're stopping by cooperating. So that's really good. I think that both Japan and America have been investing a lot to the Philippines. So I hope it works out like this. All the scares that the country has had is weak or old. So like we've been helping them to help us though. So this one's interesting too. It's totally on a different page, but on the same page, but different page. It's wait, over here. It says that like we are now developing and trying to export our robots for how do you say that? English. Nursing care. Nursing care. Nursing care robots are something that Japan is now focusing on to produce and to export. Robots, man. We need to make Doraemon. But the newspaper here somehow are full of Israel, Gaza situation. Not much about Ukraine somehow now, because it depends on the move, I guess. Running out of control for complete victory. Who's running completely? I guess Israel is just going too strongly and not listening to Biden. So they're pointing that out. Man, the prime minister in Israel, I am pro-Israel, you know, like I want them to stay strong, you know, against terrorism and so on. But at the same time, I think that this war is half like political ambitions too, because like the prime minister right now over there is like he was not popular, right? So then like he's using this war to gain support. And then he's also, I guess, he really wants to win it. It's so hard though to make a priority in this difficult situation. Hey Yoko, is the government really importing almost 1 million foreign workers to Japan? I don't know. Let me look it up because 外国人労働者。82 money. 820,000 in 5 years. So we will have the frame like acceptance of that many, like nearly 1 million, but in 5 years. It's a 5-year slot. Yeah. It's so weird though, like today, you know, Japanese people, like we don't have the history of slavery. We have never had slavery. And also we have never really had, I don't know, like we don't have the economical gap like America does. For example, like you guys have big corporations, and over here we have that too, but it doesn't create this massive gap like America does for some reason, which is a good thing. Like our country is sustained by like what's that word? Small and medium-sized enterprises. That's such a direct translation. But yeah, small and medium-sized businesses are what's supporting our country. And all this, what you call middle class. We don't have a class, but you know, it's like a middle class type of people that are the majority here. But where was I going with this? Oh yeah, and even though we are fairly the same, you know, like we have the same culture, same people, we are the same, right? The majority are the same. But today when I visit like convenience store or like hotels, you know, when we stay at hotels in Tokyo, the workers there, you know, the kind of jobs that Japanese people no longer want to have because it's so hard and it's just hard. You have to do everything and it's dirty. You know, you don't want to do the dirty work, right? And it's the foreigners that are doing such jobs now. And personally, I don't know about political aspects of that, but personally, I feel that we can't go back. At first when I saw like convenience store foreign workers, I'm like, right? Like it's weird, and I couldn't trust them much. But now we are kind of used to it, and then I realized like that job is difficult. It's so hard. You don't want to take that job because it's so like you have to do everything there, right? Like their service is there because like we love that convenience store type of places because it has everything. And what that means is the workers have to provide everything, right? And like I've always thought like, oh, I never want to work there, but foreigners do that now. And hotel workers, all this cleaner and so on, you don't want to do that, but they do because there's the vacant seats. So I don't know where my country is going. Just makes me think a lot of things. Oh, I wonder what happened to my futon. I have a futon. Futon. I hope it's not raining. I don't think it's raining. I really hope that my husband took care of that. Like we in order to sanitize, is it? Wait, what you call that? Disinfection? No, fertilization to make it clean. My futon. We don't wash them. We put it in under sunlight to kill all the bacteria, whatever, right? So I have that out. My futon is outside right now. I hope that it's taken care of. But anyway, it's been an hour and it's already like 5 p.m. here. So I should probably go. CCP would take that which is undefended like the South China Sea. Yeah. Oh, there was a news that Japanese Senkaku Islands. I said that last week as well, but it happened again. Chinese ships, two of them, came into our territorial waters around Senkaku Islands, stayed there for a day or so, and then got out. And of course, we are aware of every action that they take, but still, like, they want to create the history, that they were there and we weren't. So they want to create the history that, oh, Japan was not there, we were there, so that's ours. So that's what they want to say. So, but at least like we are aware, and I guess that in the meantime, just like the military exercise that I mentioned earlier, we are cooperating with the U.S., Philippines, and Australia. So like when things happen, of course, when it comes to Senkaku Islands, I bet that Taiwan would help as well. I don't know which comes first, which China wants to take first, Taiwan or Japanese Senkaku Islands. But yeah, East Asian situation is really bad. North Korea too. North Korea is providing missiles to Russia, and that is killing. Those missiles are, attacking Ukraine. So North Korea is a problem too. Lots of problems in East Asia. But anyway, oh, beautiful piano playing, Yoko. Thank you. I have been playing electric and acoustic guitars for I don't know for how long, but that's great. Yeah. I guess that when I like, I'm a musician at heart, like whenever, like I can play anytime because I've been doing that since I was 5, and I don't know, like I don't have to read sheet music. I can just copy by ear and so on because I have somewhat absolute pitch too. So like, yeah, I'm a musical person. And also I like to draw. I I draw weird things, but spiritually. But I do all these expressions when I'm feeling low or depressed, I guess. And so, like, I guess that I haven't been doing that, and that's maybe a good thing for me. I wish that I could just genuinely enjoy those though, like playing music and so on. Because I hear, like, when I watch all this self development stuff, I hear that you should do what comes easy for you, and get praised by other people. What I get praised are my English and music and art, but yeah, I'm using English right now. I hope that this becomes more money. But thank you so much for those who given me a super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I have I'm on gaming channel as well. It's called Random Yoko Vlog, which used to be a vlog channel, but now it's a gaming channel. And I play COD Mobile and Warzone Mobile. So I'm in a battlefield every day. So if you can come to that channel too, that'll be great. I'm mostly speaking in Japanese, but I can switch on and off depending on the comments that I receive there. So, Yoko, do you have any art for sale? I don't think so right now, unfortunately. I had them and then I didn't pay for a while for the fees. Like they changed the system there, so like their payment system changed, and I also have to sign up for Payoneer or whatever. And man, it happens a lot in websites. Like their payment system gets changed, so you have to register your new card and blah blah blah, my ID, and I feel kind of threatened because like I don't want to give my information. So there's some kind of jittery. I get jittery. Like I will work on that. Yeah, I should draw because it's a fast thing that I draw and it can become my business. Yeah, for almost 60 years now. Wow. Huh? 楽器を60年ぐらいもしてるって。That's amazing. You must be really good and also like feel the music if you're playing that. Like probably I picture you as playing as just like you're breathing, like it comes in easy. So cool. Anyway, it's dinner time for me, so I have to go. Oh, Ohio, I get this is about over. Huh? About over though. Yeah. I was just about to go. Thank you so much for coming. And I know that many of you are staying up late for this. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Keeping my company. Oh, nice people. Japan is number one for the convenience food. Yeah. It's really good here, the food. Oh, by the way, Japanese people are now switching from bread to rice. What I mean is that those bakery places, bakery stores in Japan they're falling because they have to import their ingredients, right? But Ukraine, for example, they have all this what you call wheat, but we can't access that, right? And so ingredients cost is going high. And then on the other hand, we have rice. Japan Japan makes rice everywhere, right? So we have lots of rice. And then now onigiri, do you know onigiri? Rice balls. They're becoming popular here. And even in other countries as well. It's I guess that like Europeans, they are learning that rice balls are actually good for your health. So yeah, So now we have like special ingredients inside, like fish and meat and whatever that they think is delicious. And so we have more like rice bowl onigiri places in Japan, while bakery places are disappearing. So for me, as conservative, I am happy about the move. Yeah, we are shifting economically. We are shifting, and also like infection research center as well. Like they're building the network for infection information too, and also security clearance, man. I was gonna end this, but I just wanna say at the end. Oh, I can't find it right away, but yeah, our government is working on so-called security clearance and new. I think they modified the laws to make it better, and now all these employees, that have all this like top secret level technology thing, they have to report to the national diet periodically and so on. So it's good. All this thing. It's like we are going to a new, especially because of the rise of AI, which actually Japan and America right now are talking closely, to work together to build a system for safety and everything. And but we are ahead, right, compared to other countries, Japan, America, Taiwan. We are ahead, or Korea. We are ahead, right? So it's good that we are now diving into a new age. So we are building new systems to share information, and also making sure that our food is enough and so on. And so yeah, new age. Okay. um I gotta go. I'm just happy I made it to your stream this time. Thank you. But also you got good views today, Yoko. Thank you. I really appreciate it. This channel is supported by you, every single one of you. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. You subscribed to my channel 12 years ago, like vlogging era, when I was vlogging, maybe. Cool. Or maybe music channel. I don't know. That's good. Rice bread. Oh yeah, rice bread too. Like we don't use the wheat, and we use rice, but it's a powder. Yeah, rice powder, and then it makes, like, we can make it into bread. Yeah, right now it's expensive because I guess that the demand is low, but it's changing now. So yes, it's more healthy, and it's more, I don't know, it's more, it tastes better for me as I'm Japanese too. So Yorinobu Arasaka. Thanks for coming. I was just ending this stream. Why are governments blindly following AI? I don't think. I think that, when cars became like a revolution to our everyday life, like it changed so much. Like car, right? Invention of car, it changed our life, and the internet, it changed our life. And today, the AI is just about to change our lives. So we are building the system beforehand, I think. It's all AI. Everything is AI now. Like even all this missiles, that follow you. Like, that's all calculated, and yeah. Anyway, gotta go. Gotta go. You're fine. Thank you. I try to be fun. Yes. I am German. I thought German was all about beer and potatoes. German. It's like Germans are beer, potato, and a bit of mustard and so on. Sorry, so much prejudice. But I love your language, by the way. Like next to English, I love German. The language is so cool. Dankeschön. It's like Dankeschön. It's like a machine sound, Ah, I love the sound of German. It's so beautiful. Like people say that other languages are more beautiful, but I personally think that American English, somehow American, and German language sounds so beautiful to me. Other languages are cool as well. Like a Spanish, I like the sound of Spanish too. Man, I could ramble forever. I gotta go, man. Dankeschön. Dankeschön. The O but a schön. Difficult sound. Anyway, thank you for hanging out with me. I had a great time, and thank you so much for those who gave me super chats as well. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Aloha all. Have a blessed week. You too. Bon fide sorry. Sorry, Yoko. God bless you and husband. Thank you. See you. See you too. Thank you. Oh, pretzels. Oh, making me hungry. Okay. Strong English. Gotta go. Bitteschön. Bonne sorry. Soy Ray Yoko. Yeah, was this los? God bless. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Thank you again, and I'll talk to you in a week. Okay, and come to my gaming channel as well if you miss me. Okay, bye.